Sleep has left me,' returned the old man. 'It is all with her.' 'It would pain her very much to know that you were watching thus,' said the bachelor. 'You would not give her pain?' 'I am not so sure of that. If it would only rouse her. She has slept so very long, and yet I am rash to say so. It is a good and happy sleep, eh?' 'Indeed it is,' returned the bachelor. 'Indeed, indeed it is.' 'That's well. And the waking,' faltered the old man. 'Happy too. Happier than tongue can tell, or heart of man conceive.' They watched him as he rose and stole on tiptoe to the other chamber where the lamp had been replaced. They listened as he spoke again within its silent walls. They looked into the faces of each other, and no man's cheek was free from tears. He came back, whispering that she was still asleep, but that he thought she had moved. It was her hand, he said. A little, a very, very little, but he was pretty sure she had moved it, perhaps in seeking his. He had known her do that before now, though in the deepest sleep the while. And when he had said this, he dropped into his chair again, and clasping his hands above his head, uttered a cry never to be forgotten. The poor schoolmaster motioned to the bachelor that he would come on the other side and speak to him. They gently unlocked his fingers, which he had twisted in his grey hair, and pressed them in their own. 'He will hear me,' said the schoolmaster, 'I am sure. He will hear either me or you, if we beseech him. She would, at all times.' 'I will hear any voice she liked to hear,' cried the old man. 'I love all she loved.' 'I know you do,' returned the schoolmaster. 'I am certain of it. Think of her. Think of all the sorrows and afflictions you have shared together, of all the trials and all the peaceful pleasures you have jointly known. I do, I do. I think of nothing else.' 'I would have you think of nothing else to night. Of nothing but those things which will soften your heart, dear friend, and open it to old affections and old times. It is so that she would speak to you herself, and in her name it is that I speak now.' 'You do well to speak softly,' said the old man. 'We will not wake her. I should be glad to see her eyes again, and to see her smile. There is a smile upon her young face now, but it is fixed and changeless. I would have it come and go. That shall be in Heaven's good time. We will not wake her.' 'Let us not talk of her in her sleep, but as she used to be, when you were journeying together, far away, as she was at home in the old house from which you fled together, as she was in the old cheerful time,' said the schoolmaster. 'She was always cheerful, very cheerful,' cried the old man, looking steadfastly at him. 'There was ever something mild and quiet about her, I remember, from the first. But she was of a happy nature.' 'We have heard you say,' pursued the schoolmaster, 'that in this and in all goodness she was like her mother. You can think of and remember her?' He maintained his steadfast look, but gave no answer. 'Or even one before her?' said the bachelor. 'It is many years ago, and affliction makes the time longer. But you have not forgotten her whose death contributed to make this child so dear to you, even before you knew her worth, or could read her heart. Say that you could carry back your thoughts to very distant days, to the time of your early life, when, unlike this fair flower, you did not pass your youth alone. Say that you could remember, long ago, another child who loved you dearly, you being but a child yourself. Say that you had a brother, long forgotten, long unseen, long separated from you, who now at last, in your utmost need, came back to comfort and console you. To be to you what you were once to him, cried the younger, falling on his knee before him. To repay your old affection, brother dear, by constant care, solicitude, and love, to be at your right hand what he has never ceased to be when oceans rolled between us, to call witness his unchanging truth and mindfulness of bygone days, whole years of desolation. Give me but one word of recognition, brother, and never, no never, in the brightest moment of our youngest days, when, poor silly boys, we thought to pass our lives together, have we been half as dear and precious to each other as we shall be from this time hence. The old man looked from face to face, and his lips moved, but no sound came from them in reply. If we were knit together then, pursued the younger brother, what will be the bond between us now? Our love and fellowship began in childhood, when life was all before us, and will be resumed when we have proved it, and are but children at the last. As many restless spirits who have hunted fortune, fame, or pleasure through the world retire in their decline to where they first drew breath, vainly seeking to be children once again before they die, so we, less fortunate than they in early life, but happier in its closing scenes, will set up our rest again among our boyish haunts, and going home with no hope realized that had its growth in manhood, carrying back nothing that we brought away, but our old yearnings to each other, saving no fragment from the wreck of life but that which first endeared it, may be, indeed, but children as at first. And even, he added in an altered voice, even if what I dread to name has come to pass, even if that be so, or is to be, which Heaven forbid and spare us, still, dear brother, we are not apart, and have that comfort in our great affliction. By little and little, the old man had drawn back towards the inner chamber while these words were spoken. He pointed there as he replied, with trembling lips. You plot among you to wean my heart from her. You never will do that. Never while I have life. I have no relative or friend but her. I never had. I never will have. She is all in all to me. It is too late to part us now. Waving them off with his hand, and calling softly to her as he went, he stole into the room. They who were left behind drew close together, and after a few whispered words, not unbroken by emotion or easily uttered, followed him. They moved so gently that their footsteps made no noise, but there were sobs from among the group, and sounds of grief and mourning. For she was dead. There upon her little bed she lay at rest. The solemn stillness was no marvel now. She was dead. No sleep so beautiful and calm, so free from trace of pain, so fair to look upon. She seemed a creature fresh from the hand of God, and waiting for the breath of life, not one who had lived and suffered death. Her couch was dressed with here and there some winter berries and green leaves, gathered in a spot she had been used to favour.
When I die, put near me something that has loved the light, and had the sky above it always.
Those were her words. She was dead. Dear, gentle, patient, noble Nell was dead. Her little bird, a poor slight thing the pressure of a finger would have crushed, was stirring nimbly in its cage, and the strong heart of its child mistress was mute and motionless for ever. Where were the traces of her early cares, her sufferings and fatigues? All gone. Sorrow was dead indeed in her, but peace and perfect happiness were born, imaged in her tranquil beauty and profound repose. And still her former self lay there, unaltered in this change. Yes, the old fireside had smiled upon that same sweet face,